successfully steal a trailer after destroying and, in the case of some of you, narrowly escaping. The destruction of the oscillator that was being constructed and newly moved successfully by the First Order. Now, it is days later. You guys have recharged your packs, done whatever mini projects that you are wanting to do to kind of as aftermath and cleanup.
Okay. During those 3 days, I would like Rory to talk to the new recruit miners, since they know him. See if he can get together a list of names of people that they think might be willing to talk to us and or be sympathetic to the cause.
Okay.
Rory already knows 2 possible recruits if they aren't here.
We'll get together the network of friend of a friend kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And I would also like him to pull together a team to be ready to, explore this evil, mining science basement that we've been stuck with at Argo Base. Because we don't know what condition is going to be like down there, so I'd like a team, people who actually know, how to get through and or support or avoid areas in caverns that might be dangerous.
Right. Ooh, my first marching orders. And my first orders to get out.
Yeah. You get to be in charge of an away team.
It's like Rory has been stuck with responsibility.
I don't mind taking over.
Under his command now.
I don't mind taking over if shooting starts. I know you're not quite ready for that yet, but this is definitely in your area of expertise. So.
So you're wanting to take a team down to the underground, as it were.
Yep. Assuming nothing else has popped up on the network going, this needs to be dealt with immediately.
Okay.
And when you say the evil underground base, you're talking about the inside the cave, right?
Yep.
Off to the far right.
That area of the cave that we found logs saying they had sealed off because something had gone wrong in there.
True.
And they said they had locked something in there.
Okay. Do you have a minimum of people you want to send down there? Maximum? Just curious.
Whatever you feel is appropriate, because you've seen what the rest of the base has looked like as we've excavated it, so you would have an idea of what we're probably going to be looking at on the other side of this door. So how many people do you feel is appropriate for dealing with that sort of situation? Because this is primarily recon and survey.
Yeah.
So, if we have to bring people in to shore up stuff,
survey team.
Yeah.
Just purely recon survey, nothing too special.
I'll probably bring a couple of Eric's Pathfinders with us, just so we have a couple of people armed in case there's something in here, but I'm honestly more concerned about, safely navigating it right now as opposed to what we might find. So.
Honestly, 3 Pathfinders and maybe 4 or 5 miners.
Works for me.
And for the experience, Rory would be looking for the ones who kind of, a few who know the ropes, or essentially the under overseers, who are basically people who are kind of his level of experience, but maybe 2 of them, and then others would be usual miners.
That's that.
That way we don't, because if something bad happens, we don't lose all that experience.
I'm assuming we're treating this along the lines of we've discovered a new vein, let's, see what has to be done in here before we can start mining type.
Agreed.
It's like that level of
Uh,
procedure and experience.
No, nothing special. Again, Rory would do that. So talk to them first about if they know anyone else who's sympathetic, and then to gather up a team, see who's willing to, as first assignment, be okay, we have a part of the morning that we need to look at, we found for the first order that that was place. Don't know too much about it, but it's been sealed off and breached. I need a couple volunteers, a few experienced, a few brave people. I'll have some Pathfinder crews so they'll know how to shoot. It's purely surveyed, and as gross as we basically have said, it basically just says think of it as looking for a new strip of new deposit line, except now we can actually take our time with it.
Okay, we'll be with you in case anything goes wrong, but we need your expertise.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Okay. Are you?
Rory, opinion. Are we better off bringing down one? And say, do you prefer to have the droid or just the handheld unit?
They're probably more familiar with the geo oscillator, but the Tachikoma would probably be nice as not only just a scanner, but also just in case.
Okay. We will bring one of the Tachikomas with us then.
Okay. The people that you're, I know you said you're trying to look for sympathetic people, but for the people for this mission, are you trying to tap the potential new sympathies?
No, the people we rescued.
Okay.
I said, we're just getting a list of names from them right now. We're not actually necessarily going out. We're just trying to, like, hey, do you know anybody that, might also be willing to help us out? And then after we've got the list, we're going, okay, now we need to borrow your expertise for a minute. Can you come to this, cavern with us?
Yeah.
Or rather, go deeper into this cavern with us since you're already living in this cavern.
Yeah.
Brave people. Because this shit is dangerous. Because this mine has already previously fallen.
And we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. OSHA standards, we want that to be like the SOLs. That is the minimum level of... that is the minimum level of safety we want in this building. Ideally, we want to far exceed that. First order, use balsa wood support beams. We want to use adamantium.
Oh, yes.
I want this cavern to be able to withstand a 12.5 on the Richter scale. The planet snaps in half. I want this building intact.
Okay.
Ideally, I want to survive Star Destroyer bombardment, but we'll get there. Right now, I just don't want the ceiling to collapse when I put in a ceiling fan.
Are we talking just a normal bombardment, or are we talking alpha? No, delta.
Let's
Delta theta?
we'll start with normal and work our way up to glassing.
Are you talking about what was it?
Base delta, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, base delta, whatever the hell.
That's like we'll start with normal, work our way up to glassing the planet. Right now, I just don't want the ceiling to fall on me when I put in a ceiling fan.
There is logic.
I understand this is a long-term project, but these are the people that would know where to start. So, and it'll also get them comfortable with us because we'll be getting them working together, getting them working with Rory they already trust, and letting them know that we actually acknowledge their field of expertise and respect them for it.
You exist. We believe.
We see you.
We see you. We believe in your abilities. Would you also the whole thing of stressing volunteers instead of who? Okay, you're doing this and you're doing this. Go.
Because, this is the Disney universe. We have to be woke.
We're good.
Okay.
We have Asians in our party. Granted, they're robots, but we have Asians.
That's racist, you say.
We also have black people.
Yep. And not just because they're covered in blackface because of, being minors.
Yeah, one of the 5 black people in the entire universe.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, we probably look a little Polynesian ourselves, because
I'm about to say,
our island is tropical.
I believe you decided this planet was space Samoa.
Or something like that. But that's only my opinion. You can only go so far.
Well, you see, the thing is, when we were developing this game, not many people gave opinions.
I think you've had the most opinion on the planet, so by default.
But it should just be hard to say something. I want to make sure what the people have their opinion. Yeah. But yeah. That's it.
Got that Alolan type Rancor,
It's kind of right. Let's see, you said how many minutes?
He said 5 miners, 3 Pathfinders, and then us. And a Tachikoma. Probably Tachikoma number 1 because she has the most experience with caverns.
Yay! Hey, sir, let's go.
Okay.
Make sure she's only loaded with the paint rounds, that way she can use grenades without killing us.
Okay, can I get a few perception rolls for the time past time?
First, I need to do this one. Oh, terrific time pass.
Normal perception, yes.
Yep, for regular perception.
Also, we have a con artist again. But it's only me for a little bit. But +1.
How many?
Um,
I thought you said a few, so.
let's try this one and use it.
Come on. It isn't searching, just plain perception. That's totally different.
Yeah, it's just plain perception. And you said 3 peppers. Yes. So just organizing a few cards. Oh, oops. Oh, there we go. There. Holy crap. Uh, over the time pass, Crow, both you and Rory at your respective places and times notice in the night sky where there was a uh, scaffolding, there is now what appears to be places on it appear to have what look to you guys as some form of um, angled opaque material. It's really not through the entire thing. It's like with some on the left side.
Okay, so that's getting more to the point where we probably should address that. I guess after we do the this basement run. With that in mind, during the 3 days, I would like the smugglers that we've acquired to get a bit more familiar with the Kaital systems,
Okay.
since one of them may end up flying it and the other may end up being one of the gunners.
Gotcha.
And I guess we will send up one of the unnamed probe droids. That way, if it doesn't, come back or feel as bad, to see if it can recon the construction.
Okay. Are you doing anything to prep the droid for the mission?
I guess do a little bit of slicing to see if we can pull some or generate something resembling a modern ID code, so it doesn't get flagged
Okay.
or less likely to get flagged.
I'll need a forgery roll for that.
The forgery is under perception these days.
Yes.
Oh, does she have a thing that helped us with this? Okay, no, that's for decoding and encrypting, which is not what we're doing. Okay. Okay. Cool. Also have some of our slightly more social types asking around at the bars, on the DL, people drawing Sabak, playing Sabak, throwing darts, whatever. See if we can, confirm it's purely a military site or if they got civilians up there.
For reasons.
Okay. And that's Sky too, but she's in mark mode, so this is normally her department. Gotcha.
Quick question before we continue. Can you buy off your defects?
Yes. It's 10 times the value, so if it's a 2-point defect, that'd be 20 character points. Ideally, I would want to be informed ahead of time to see if it's something that needs to be worked in as a story, or that could possibly be just worked off.
It was just going to be an insomnia thing, but oh boy.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, that can be bought off.
Yeah, that can be bought off, and say Sky has put you on some treatments or something.
Yeah, but that's character stuff. That's 20. Okay.
Yeah, that's like 2 missions worth of shit.
Yeah. Just making sure.
Yep. But yes, you can do it.
Can do it.
Okay, so there's droids floating around up there isn't necessarily uncommon.
I was about to say, if nothing else, from what we've seen in like Resistance and some other things, they seem to do them for security.
Yeah.
And we've seen them around the city doing something similar with smaller probe droids.
Okay. The probe droid, after doing its look-see, will give a good report. It looks to be the beginnings of a yard.
Now I want to steal it.
Yeah. It looks like it looks like they're in the middle of building a yard. From what you were able to see while you were up there, it appears that the the Overlord refinery has been able to quickly refine material, likely due to the just influx of planetary mining that's been going up to it. Thus, have been able to produce more. Um, I should have asked this before. Higher low side.
No.
Okay. There's like some of the paneling on there. A lot of the habitable infrastructure is in place. Looks like there are, I was about to say habitats, but storage areas for droids to assist in things, the beginning of large shipyard arms. Um, if anyone wants to make a technical or capital ship repair roll, you can use that to guesstimate what its current construction status is in terms of towards completion.
That's probably Rory's department. Though apparently Reset also has 5D in capital ship repairs, so
Ah,
Hmm.
I think he got that from one of the mouse droids.
I just have 4D.
You have technical. So between the two of you,
if one of you wants to assist the other, you can, or you can roll independently.
I'll go for the assist. Bump up that number a little nicer. We'll bump that 5. That, what was it, 5?
I'd say he has 5, so you'd be bringing him up to 6.
Okay, by research estimation, it's at currently at roughly 40% of completion. The size of the yard, we're looking at uh, large, large uh, capital ships. It looks like the length of the yard, where you can tell because the scaffolding is complete, is almost 3 kilometers.
That is a big shipyard. Okay, so that has become a priority target, but can wait till after we're done in the basement.
Um, unless there's something to boost the construction. Your you're going to estimate a number of months left in the construction.
Okay. But the sooner we hit it, the less well defended it'll be.
Its defense, or what you can see, appears to be the normal planetary defenses of the occasional um, squadrons and the occasional patrol ship that comes into orbit.
Okay. Well, if we can get it, if we can, get to stay up there long enough to observe that, so we can get an idea of rotations, to know when to make when the best chance to make a move.
Okay, you're looking on the order of days of it to actually get a pattern if you're waiting to get the system patrol.
That's fine. During that time, and also, we can reach out to the SOTOL, send a messenger their ways, let them know we are looking at making a strike at this, big thing in orbit that they should be able to see too, and see if once we have an idea of when there be an opening and stuff, if they have any space aces they might be willing to lend us.
Okay, really, like anyone who is not blinded by the jungle canopy can see this at night.
Oh yeah,
And
but we're trying to be open with them. So I'm, like sharing our intels. Like it appears to be a shipyard. We're getting intelligence on what their rotations are.
no,
Yeah.
I get that. I was just
Yeah.
confirming that depending on where you are, you actually can't see this.
Yeah. So if they can't see it, then we're explaining it to them.
Yeah.
That is the player not knowing if they can see it from their city. And asking to borrow a few starfighter pilots and or fighters if they are willing to share. If not, we can probably attempt this without them, but it would be a lot easier if they were to assist us.
Okay.
Take the fight to the first order for once, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And since we have a few days, of getting intel anyway, they have time to think about it.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Right. So it's moving left, up north a little bit. Okay. So let's refresh. Okay. Okay. So you had your team together. Unless there's any last second other things you want to be doing before then.
No, as far as I can tell, we're good.
Okay. Keep in mind to mark what you are taking with you during this expedition.
Okay.
I've heard a couple of times people are like, "Would I have a mix?" I don't know. Would you?
Well, I've basically got the same equipment for every mission, so that's not a problem for me.
Okay. Wandering through Argo Base. Going to the back area where the prefab buildings and such are.
Mm-hmm.
There's still that Duracell wall that's in place.
Well, I assume we'll have to cut through that.
Yeah, you must have switch it later.
Unless we discovered some way to open it and nobody told me.
You've also noted that there are steel plates, older steel plates, bolted into the ground at a few other places in the mine.
Okay. Who also appeared to be trying to seal something off?
Uh, yes.
Okay, so they definitely do not want whatever it was down there coming up.
For instance, there's a plate over here.
Mm-hmm.
Another over here. Just as a for instance.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But right now, I believe you guys are over here. Which, if you want to, you can drop bombs or
As I will let Rory decide where he feels most comfortable making entry.
Right, so over here, we have to reach this area, right?
There's a few plates where we could cut in and then just kind of probably rappel in, or there's the big wall.
Yeah, honestly, with how these walls are, I don't want to risk any more structural integrity. So, for this whole cave, so let's get rid of let's go with just basically hot welding some plates off.
Okay. If you want to scroll around, you can tell me which plate you want to cut into. The vents are, by the way, aren't like the sealed plates. What's under the vent plating, you can actually hear, and if you shine a light, see water.
Okay. So we know there's water down there.
Yeah, I know there's water down there. Yeah.
Which
I know there's water down there.
I assume makes this trickier.
Yeah. Probably lean towards where the cave-in was.
So you're gonna lean in where the cave-in was, because the map does have areas where there are just like rocks from from cave-ins. So yeah, I know there's like a huge map. There's an obscenely huge map. Like, for instance, over here.
Jesus Christ.
So this is, for instance, as you mentioned cave-in, which, by the way, there was also a sealed plate over here.
Where?
Right over here.
Where is here?
Oh, it should have pinged.
No, I mean, where this giant man is here?
I thought I did a force ping to everyone. Here. I'll just shift the map a little bit.
Okay. But I don't think we've found that area yet.
I presume you guys have found any area that is not inherently blocked.
Yeah.
Though you would have had time to clear some areas if you'd like.
I know the clearing has been a constant project between the mining droid and the Tachikomas and us when we have time.
In which case, you can unseal 3 areas if you'd like. Note that the lighter wall color is soft, is, for lack of a better term, soft earth that you can dig without needing things like mining lasers. Yeah, are you sure you want to zoom out that much?
I'm just pulling back enough I can see in general without having to surf the entire room. Okay, well,
So hypothetically, way down here near the Kaitor, we have this entrance that we hypothetically found, or a sealed plate. Then, of course, we have hypothetically this one up near the top, in between by the research facility, wherever that was, and then obviously the research facility itself.
Yep. In terms of areas we have cleared,
If you like, you can use the draw tool and choose what color was it?
Where we reached.
Choose a
I'm,
blue color.
I'm looking at a few of these areas going, do we actually have access into them and we just be clearing more access into them, like over here? Yeah, because we can get there from this side of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there's that cave in with some crystal bits.
Yeah, so we'd have to clear this wall right here or that wall right there.
Yeah. But to gain access to that area in general, you would have to.
We can get access to this wall right here by just walking down this hallway.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one you can just do.
Same thing with the wall over here. If we just walk across this room that we have access, we'd have to clear that first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Okay, well, let's work on a quadrant first. So, draw tool.
And just choose like cyan or something contrasting.
It's a cooking something. Hey, you know what? We're not going to do this on the computer streaming because that's going to be a pitch and a half. Okay, so... That one? I see a bunch of white blocks here. Are we able to get through those?
The white blocks. Yeah, you should be able to get through.
Okay, so we don't have to clear those. They're just kind of there. Okay. So I guess next we'll do this one. And we can get into that compartment, so we basically know what's in there. So we're just going on the idea of working our way across here-ish.
Okay. And there is a accessible plate right there.
Oh, we're going up near the top there, by the crystals, where you're creating that little hole thing.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah. Unless you have a particular other area you want to use. Yeah.
The only we can think of is the main one itself, but I mean, if we were to pick up there, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, there's still a actually, when you enter this part, there's still valuable materials here. The crystals here. Who has any skill in blaster repair?
Me.
Okay. Crow. You will recognize that these crystals um, can, are of a grade that can be used for focusing lenses. For anything from blaster pistols to if enough is actually used, cannons.
Did I just hear that we could start making arms now?
In small amounts, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I can finally do what I was talking to David about. What happens if I shove a kyber crystal into my blaster pistol? In fact, since we have 3 days, apparently, I would like to shove a pair of kyber or whatever crystals these are. I'm assuming kyber because this plant's known for kyber. Into my Mando pistols.
Okay.
I can try identifying if it's kyber. Since I've been working in that
Sure, go for it, man.
a lot of my times, if possible.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can, I believe you have like a geology skill.
I do.
Cool.
So yeah, it's probably a good idea to find that out before I shove what's basically the same crystal I'm already using in here.
Then that's gonna be 15.
Okay. With that, you can identify that it's in the Kyber family. Not specifically what grade though. Like you won't know if it's a Dagon, for instance.
I don't know. They're different grades.
Yep. Do you want one roll for both or one roll per pistol?
Per pistol.
Yeah, just they are cryo crystals. I don't know what kind of grade they are, so proceed with caution.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Almost doubled it on the second blaster.
Yes. Just so you know, I have valued some ore you have uncovered on the left side.
Yeah. Oh. No? Where?
Upper left.
Oh, that little green box.
Yeah, it has some writing next to it. That's the value with it being unrefined. Okay. Nice. Okay. Uh, one of your pistols, whichever one you use for the first one, will get a damage increase of 1d.
Mm-hmm.
The second pistol will have a damage increase of 1d as well. In addition, You will receive a you will receive a extra power die for the purposes of damage for that pistol.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice try.
Do note that with these relatively rare materials now in it, difficulty to repair your weapon will be increased by 5.
Okay.
Is it one of those things where it changes the blaster color? Like we're still
Yeah.
good guy red, but goes blue or something like that?
It could conceivably put like a tint to your blaster shots if you want.
Though oddly enough, Mando pistols seem to fire yellow for some reason.
Okay.
If you go by the Clone Wars and Resistance,
You can still fire
or
yellow.
I'm sorry, Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, you can still fire yellow if you'd like. Maybe a bit shinier.
I'd say I'll think about changing the color, but my point was technically I'm already firing in an unusual color.
How meta are the blaster colors?
Oh, very meta. The movies and the cartoons both all have them firing in like GI Joe logic. They have good guy lasers and bad guy lasers.
I mean, like in universe, do they see that it's green and red blaster fire? I don't recall that in Legends.
It never comes up.
Yeah, though, to be perfectly honest, every blaster fires red that I know of, regardless if you have it, unless you. Oh my gosh! Unless you go with a prequel where.
I would say according to the prequels, I'd say if you go by the prequels, the clones fire blue, somebody else fired green, and the CIS fired red.
Yeah,
Now, I always assumed it was operating under Babylon 5 logic of the color of the blaster bolt was determined by where your focusing lens was made.
Oh yeah, and I found out that we can actually get those Naboo blasters if we really want to, because it might be nice because they have cables in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cables, I'm like, ooh, that could be useful.
Of course, I could do that for you without, getting a Naboo blaster, because I know how to integrate grappling guns into my blaster. I've already done it.
Besides, I already want to kind of.
Though the Naboo blasters are cool because they have grappling hooks and they have dart launchers.
True. But yeah, I also kind of want to go through the route of Titanfall for pilots. You know, small jetpack, or whatever. Yeah. And then of course go anything. But that's another route.
Yep.
But moving on. So yeah, nice blasters.
Okay. Yep. In terms of getting through the plate, since you do have tools with you, like cutters and stuff like that, you can use like a fusion cutter to get it open. Are you gonna let the piece fall, or bring the piece up here to the surface?
Bring this up here. Waste not whatnot.
Okay.
This material we can use somewhere.
Pick you up.
All right. Hey, go. Let's go.
Okay. Looking down, you see, darkness.
No parents.
There does not appear to be any light down the hole. You do get a whiff of um, like old air with with a bit of moisture mixed in.
So mildew.
Yes.
Glad we're now.
I'd say make sure everybody's issued. That's the other thing. Make sure that was the other thing for the 3 days. Make sure everybody's fitted with armor. So that way everybody is guaranteed to have rebreathers. So we can filter the air.
We have enough armor to just keep stocking it down.
Yep. We have enough armor for everybody. I want to encourage them to personalize it when they have the time. Sky and I can help them with that if as needed. Rory too, but I know he doesn't exactly have the dice in armor repair, so that's something he's working towards. And so he's got the skills, he just hasn't done it, as much in practice. So yeah, we are more than willing to help them personalize their armor. I encourage paint jobs. I encourage mods. We're going the opposite of the First Order. I want everybody to feel as individualized as possible.
Okay.
Like, we're all starting from the same base, but do whatever the fuck you want to it. We will definitely make sure they all get the custom fit mod so it doesn't fuck with their maneuverability.
Shark jaws? We've got flames? Cool. Flaming bunnies? Cool.
House Wren thoroughly encourages personalization.
Yes.
So yeah, that way everybody should have Stormtrooper helmets to help filter their crap.
Only downside is the First Order will see us from a mile away. Except I've been getting
I don't know if they'll see us from a mile away or not. I mean, you were wearing personalized armor and they didn't get bad at you.
Speaking of, that's gonna be fun. I have a 6 on my insomnia check, and I believe I am actually under penalties now.
That said, we are bringing glow rods down with us because I want to make sure everybody can see.
There is logic.
The Pathfinders can have their rifle lamps. The Tachikoma's got headlights.
That's right.
The miners can equip theirs however they feel most comfortable.
Got the touch.
Which makes sense, because he's going back to the bad place.
Okay, you mentioned rifle.
The Pathfinders have rifle lights. The Tachikoma has built-in headlamps already, so that's not an issue. And the miners can equip theirs wherever they feel most comfortable.
Okay. What are you using for?
I got a light. He's got lights on his pistols, and
what would be the brightest light source on you?
Oh, no, the other shit. Brightest light source. Well, I mean, I've got a 100-meter range on my sensors, so
But yeah,
yeah, 50 meters versus motion. Brightest light source. Um, he's probably got the equivalent of a glow rod.
okay.
Yeah, he's got glow rod in his helmet. There it is. In addition to all the motion sensors and shit.
Yeah.
I imagine you probably put it in there for intimidation factor, so it's probably the eyes on the helmet act like flashlights.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Well.
And he's got on the pistols too if he needs to aim it for other people.
Okay, what I'll do then is I'll also give you, because I believe you also have light amplification.
Yeah.
I know what I'll do for you then.
Well, technically, I don't have light amplification because none of the Star Wars books have light amplification, but yeah, I have light amplification. Remember, it's always infrared or some other thing that's the same effect, but never.
Yeah. Okay. Not a problem.
Is it? Looks at IR. Is this light amplification? Is this the butterfly?
I am also data linking my auto map to the Tachikoma's geosensor.
Okay.
So that way we have two things mapping, and if we get separated, we'll know where the fuck we're going.
You know, we're true northerners.
Yes. In terms of getting down, I will need a climbing roll unless you guys are using your jetpacks.
I'm using my gravity belt.
Okay.
Your gravity belt? Is that what I heard?
It's a device. Yes, it's called a gravity belt. It's it's the D6 Star Wars equivalent of a parachute. It basically negates terminal velocity, so you can fall and not hurt yourself.
Nice.
Yup.
That said, since I know the miners do not have jetpacks, I will make sure that they to thoroughly check all their climbing ropes before they come down.
Wait, what? Someone doesn't have a jetpack in the Maquis?
Hey, so far only the core team has jetpacks. The second we get the shipping problem solved, actually, you know what I may do is order them and then say we'll go pick them up. But yes, I need to get everybody else more jetpacks, but I need to train them first to make sure they don't break their necks.
Yeah.
Everything else, I need to get myself a new spare jetpack, considering I'm wearing my spare right now.
Yeah.
I can actually probably fix that.
Well, remember, my original was the one that I blew up.
It's still fixed.
Though I suppose we could stage a raid on the First Order Armory, since we know they have jetpack troopers on planet. There's some jetpacks there we could steal.
That is always an option. Okay.
don't you hate when you have bought a specific thing and you can't find it later?
Yeah.
Like you know you bought the thing, but you can't freaking find
Yep, yep.
it.
Okay.
I bought some magic glue.
Yeah, see, the Guardian pretty much ensures that you're safe. Yes. Just land in a particularly darkened area.
Okay, I guess Pathfinders and I will go first, just to make sure nothing jumps us. Then we can bring the miners in.
Okay.
And then we can move into standard escort formation, i.e. front and back, and let Rory and his people do their thing. I will be running my sensors, especially, and I would like to bring up life detection.
Kills. Okay.
So I have 50 meters of motion sensing, 100 meters of sensors, and 10 meters of the force. Which I will happily mark on my mini for you when I'm actually on the screen.
Yeah, I have people already here. I just need to reorganize them a little bit. Okay, you're doing.
I suppose for relevant to you would be what, the motion sensor and the light detection?
Light detection is more relevant.
Okay.
I suppose is it restriction what 50?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I say I have 100 meters of sensor pod and I have 50 meters of motion sensor. I wasn't sure if that'd be relevant here. I am ready for whatever xenomorphs or other bullshit you're about to throw at us in this basement.
Okay, so we have Rory and then the miners.
Or Zerg or whatever's in here.
Okay, let me.
Was it Tyranids from 40K?
It's,
Surprised it's the use on bomb.
Now you see, I've been fighting the Yuzhan Vong for years. I'm not worried about them.
Okay. Now switching you guys. Rory, are you using a normal glow rod?
Yep. Probably should fix that at some point. At least get a helmet thing.
Okay, we have a map. All right. Map. We have a map. All right, the Tachikoma has sensors too. Okay, the Tachikoma has motion sensors, atmospheric sensors. Those will be incredibly useful.
Okay.
We don't need a canary. We have a Tachikoma.
Well, that's what the canary is. That's the canary system.
By George, I think he's learning our naming convention joke.
I'm learning, guys. I'm learning how to become one of them. Acceptance. Empathetically.
So, yep. As you can see, this lighting actually has visible walls. After taking several steps forward to get to where you guys actually are on the map, as your entry point is just to the left of the map, uh, the air, as mentioned, is a little bit moldy. You see caves here. These caves look like they've been dug with a combination of water and you you would say man-made, except for the fact it doesn't appear to follow any construction convention that you are familiar with. So something with the ability to dig came through here at some point.
Yep, we got space roaches.
On the ground there is a bit of reflection from your light as there is some moisture here. You can tell there's enough moisture here that it would provide a little bit of skill, a minor amount of skill, if you wanted to actually like run along without slipping.
Oh no, I want to move this one.
Yeah, basically this is not concourse terrain. This is not a difficulty of very easy if you're running. This is a difficulty.
Does the fact that I have climbing boots, they give me a plus 1d for gripping, apply here? Would they give me like a plus 1d to running?
I would apply that to your running.
Okay.
Yeah, because like grip boots and stuff like that makes sense. Okay. Could I get a perception roll, please?
Do any of my tech apply here?
No. Actually, no. You have a general searching tetrapod thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your generic one will, but I'll assume it like highlights stuff.
Yeah. So it's not like danger sense or anything like that. Okay.
Perception, you said?
Yep.
Perception.
He got to a D now. Yeah, is this searching or just perception?
There's a description, as I'm trying to see if you guys will just passively notice something.
Okay. That's gonna be.
Okay. Rory,
Yeah.
you do notice some slight etchings in the walls. You recognize these etchings actually as shorthand for blast planet. You know, like a safe wall, unsafe wall, um, 5 meters in. You know that kind of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that kind of notation. Um, it looks like this area was going to be made into something. Uh, the moisture has worn away some of the details, but you do see some actual Arabic writing that showed as if someone was making notes in the wall, but it's illegible due to the passage of time. Bro.
Jen, quick question if I may.
Yeah.
Is this like really old or just like are we talking decades old or just a few years old?
These particular writings. Your guess would be around a decade.
So okay, so they were already working on this. Okay. Do nothing. Thank you. Sorry about that.
You will notice uh, an object covered in some rocky debris. Your little centropod will highlight there's something discongruent over there.
Hey guys, I have an obnoxious video game glow people are always bitching about when it comes to immersion that highlights items.
Yes.
Like in Deus Ex, where they're having a cutscene and the island's still highlighted with an aura for some reason. I will cautiously approach said item and, see about easing it out.
Okay.
Cautiously, messing with the rocks to make sure I don't fuck something up.
Pulling it out. It is a large magazine. With your military background, you will recognize it as a severely damaged magazine for a Plex launcher. It currently has no ammo.
What?
Well, I'm less worried about the walls down here now. Somebody thought it was okay to fire bazookas.
Lucas.
Show him the magazine. We have a plex launcher in the loot crate, so Rory should know what it is.
Holy! What are they doing down here?
I assume mining is not done with rocket launchers.
No. No, if you're smart about it. Secondly, another thing that's bothering me is just how windy this is. This doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to it.
So, note to self, develop wrist rocket with drill on the end of it.
You're just gonna make a grok at that point?
No, because groks explode. This thing will drill to its target and then explode.
One of the miners will speak up. Could they have had a base down here, like up there?
I mean,
We did find some
maybe.
data logs that implied they were doing something down here, which I know Tristan didn't mention, but I would like to think was probably included in the briefing we gave them before coming down here.
Yeah.
I think, but the only problem is they sealed this place up. They sealed up anything that went down here, which means something happened. So that also goes to say that
And what
Plex launcher actually.
I say, whatever happened, they obviously wanted it really dead.
Yeah. Can I see the Plex launcher magazine?
I will hand them the magazine.
Okay.
Can really determine how exactly it was ruined, whether by like kinetic force, erosion, or...
Well, I remind you, I found it under a pile of rocks.
True.
Roll search. Let's see how.
So while he's doing that, I will continue excavating under the pile of the rocks and see if I can find the owner or something that might give us some more clues.
You don't find anything else on the rocks.
Okay, so this is where they discarded the magazine on their way out. Okay.
That's gonna be 19.
19. Okay, you can definitely see damage marks on here that aren't just from jagged rocks and stuff hitting it, because there are some, for instance, there are some gashes in the metal which could have resulted from a particularly pointy piece of rock falling and slamming into the magazine, but it doesn't look quite right for that. Can you make me a knowledge roll, because then I don't have the exact skills. I'm sorry, you say 10? Okay. Looking at it further, it's clear that something sharp jabbed into it, and there's a bit of a cutting motion to it. Looking at the specific cut, it looks like whatever cut into it was somewhat jagged and kind of like the object was in motion, but whatever this jagged thing was stabbed into it, and was kind of like pulled and dragged, so it looks a little gnarled. If it is from a combat knife, the perforations from the jagged edge that you're seeing doesn't match any survival knife that you're aware of.
Yeah. So that's pro. So it's either a knife of some kind, which I've never, maybe a knife I've never seen, or it's something down here. I would hazard a guess that's a creature of some kind. Hazardous wise.
Okay.
And after all is said and done, I need to get your job shut.
So we will resume this bug hunt in an hour and a half.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.